Human trafficking is a severe human rights violation, a significant concern in Uganda. The country is a source, transit, and destination point for trafficking victims who are often exploited for forced labor, sexual exploitation, and modern-day slavery. In the past year, the Office of the DPP reported 3,259 cases involving 4,965 victims. Alarmingly, children accounted for 79% of the victims, with 2,543 cases
that have been involved as victims in trafficking in persons, which gives us a number that leads us to 2,543 children victims of trafficking in persons. Now, as a country, this is very alarming, and it calls for concerted efforts, especially now that it involves so many of our children in it. Whereas the adult victims are about 452, and cases where we have both children involved and the adults are only 55, whereas the other category is 209.
According to Derek Chigenyi Basalira, Deputy National Coordinator, notable trafficking cases include domestic servitude, sex trafficking, and labor trafficking.
0.6%. Now, what does this mean to us? That yes, most of the trafficking in persons is happening domestically. And this calls for domestic actions, domestic strategies, and also concerted efforts with all stakeholders within Uganda to combat this vice. Whereas from this total of cases, sex trafficking in persons represents 1,937. Labor trafficking or trafficking for purposes of labor exploitation is represented by 658. And where it involves both, someone is trafficked and they happen to be used sexually, but at the same time, they're also used for other forms of labor in exploitation, it is catered for by 144.
The most prevalent trend involves online scams, including fake job offers, dating, and shopping.
However, the most prevalent now, the trend, is the online trafficking in persons. And this has taken also various typologies. Within the online trafficking in persons, people are trafficked for purposes of during online investment scams. There are very many people that receive messages. Many of you receive messages to invest online. In online investments, you do not know where these people are. Some of them may even tell you they are stationed in Brazil, they are stationed in Kampala here, they are stationed in different parts of the world. However, these are all scammers. And some of you have gone ahead to pay your monies.
In another development, Chigenyi has cautioned parents to strict care towards children during this holiday from adult content and online perpetrators.
Let's make our children aware. Let's let them know that the traffickers are actually just waiting on trafficking them. Now, this also goes to many children and students who are engaged in online pornography, online sex trafficking, in those so-called sleepovers. Yes, parents, the children are involved. They are telling you how they are going for sleepovers with their friends over the weekends, but at the end of the day, you're not monitoring what activities they're involved in the sleepovers.
In a bid to curb the vice, the government of Uganda took measures and filed a case against one of the labor export companies known as Horeb that participated in trafficking.
In July of this very year, the High Court in Kampala made a ruling in one of the cases against a daughter to one of the deceased person who died in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. One Namali Desire, who was standing in for the mother who died in Saudi Arabia in 2019. This case has been ongoing, but successfully we achieved a milestone in the High Court that the company that was involved, that is Horeb Services, was tasked to pay damages and fines for the loss of the life of that particular person. I bring this to your attention because so many of the companies are leaving this responsibility to the individual migrant worker.
Nagujja Serena, NSTV.